BTS HARDSHIPS. This is the video I wanted to watch. When you understand a group or person's hardships, what they had to go through in order to reach the success they have, you build a bond with that person or group, and you get to understand their personalities. You get to understand that they didn't give up no matter the hardships. And if you really want to build a bond with somebody, a group, or like BTS, or in your real life, whether it's partner or friendship, if you go through hardships with them, you will create a certain connection that you will never miss again. Okay, I know this might be a little sad to watch. I'm not the best person to hold my emotions. I don't know. It's just one of those things where maybe it was given to me genetically. I feel empathy when I see people cry or get sad, and just a little warning there. I'll try to hold myself because I don't want anything to get corny or cheesy, and I don't think it's appreciated to be too emotional, especially if you're a dude. Okay.
To relive the sadness or to hold grudges against others. This video was made to remind us that BTS didn't rise to success. This video was not made in order to relive the sadness or to hold grudges against others. This video was made to remind us that BTS didn't rise to success without facing hurdles, and these events have created a stronger bond between
it makes
BTS
the crying
and
even
ARMY.
more emotional.
June 13, 2000.
In the previous video, they were crying so much, and like I got little like teary, even though I haven't seen all the hardships. Now if I see everything and the fact that they're crying on stage in front of thousands of people, it makes it even more impactful and
13.
strong.
BTS were only able to
Rap
debut
monster.
because the schedule.
Hey, if you want to watch full uncut reactions, click the link in the description. You can check out full unedited reactions for TV shows, music reactions, and album reactions, which is in the description for Patreon. As you guys know, most of the reactions that I do on this YouTube channel, it's copyrighted, so unfortunately it is demonetized. It is not monetized. So maybe if you want to support the channel, just consider supporting the channel. You can click the link in the description for Patreon, or if you just want to check out the full reactions, again, on Patreon. Thank you. That's it. Bye-bye.
Performers cancelled. BTS was a filler. Even after debuting, they couldn't get much airtime. Their performances were either shortened, cut from broadcasts, or not uploaded for online consumption due to their company's lack of clout at that time.
And you can tell, like, they're dancing their heart out right here. Like, Jared was putting
uploaded for
everything
online
in.
consumption due to their company's lack of clout at that time.
저 당시에는 우리가 막 방송을 마음대로 못 깔 때예요. 방송을 막 사람 닫혀 있으면 우리 못 나오고 그럴 때도 있었어.
저때 한밤에 이게 나가게 된 게 되게 약간 우리가 막 그랬었어. 그때 그랬어요.
되게 중요한
네,
거고.
신기한 거고 되게 약간 원래 그렇게 따로 인터뷰 잘 안 해주시는데 막 그때 그런 기억이 나요.
저희를 구원해 주신 거죠?
From sleeping in one bedroom to using their own staff as extras.
저희 매니저
To recording an album in a garage.
Wow.
These were just a
Do
few
you see this
to
setup?
recording an
Look at this.
album in a garage.
This is just like a normal American garage. This is like, looks like our family's first house. Oh man, look at how young he is, dog.
These were just a few things BTS experienced early on
Sleeping
in their
in the studio.
careers due to their company's limited budget.
Also, if you're practicing dancing, you can imagine. You see they're sleeping.
These
Like, it's so musty, and
were just a
it definitely
few
doesn't
things
look that good. And they have to sleep in that room. So if you think about you're practicing in there, you can imagine the smell, and you can imagine how humid it is in there, and they have to sleep in there. And if you're practicing all the time, dancing on your feet, like, you're gonna have calluses there, and it's just your nails gonna start breaking.
experienced early on in their careers due to their company's limited budget.
지드래곤 선배님이 말 걸어주신 거 기억나요? 옷에 쓰여있는 거 무슨 뭐냐고 돈 써가지고 16,000원짜리 후배티에 프린팅 해가지고 뭔지 몰라가지고 말을 그렇게 했었는데 아무튼 네.
Because some of the members came from an underground rap background, but ultimately chose the path of becoming idols, they were often disrespected.
사실 남준이가 그 언더에서 활동을 했다고 이제 그런 사람들이 많아요. 아이돌로 올라가서 나는 언더그라운드 활동을 했던 사람이다 하고 언플이라고 흔히 하잖아요. 그러면은 이제 언더 매니아, 힙합 매니아라고 하는 사람들은 그런 거를 당연히 안 좋게 보죠.
아, 지네 음악도 안 하고 그냥 회사에서 시키는데도 노래 받아서 춤이나 추는 것들이 무슨 가수냐, 니네가 무슨 아티스트냐, 저런 애를 더 이상 나오면 안 된다.
You can tell he's about to cry, and I think a lot of that comes out of jealousy. All those rap and hip-hop guys, underground guys, like, I haven't seen any of them. I'm probably never going to see any of those guys. It comes out of jealousy. Once he starts to become successful, those guys will become even stronger. And I remember in the last video, guys were hating on Suga too, because he was wearing a makeup and he was looking good.
A
That's what
rapper
had to
told
hate on.
RM and Suga that they were on
this
the
is the
right
exact
path,
interview.
but strayed away and were no longer considered real rap hip-hop artists, deeming them girls for wearing makeup.
방탄소년단에 대해서 사실 찍어서 말하고 아이돌을 보입니다. 네, 맞습니다. 힙합이 아니다. 방탄소년단이 무대에 올라갔을 때 이제 분장을 한다는 어떤 메이크업을 하는 거에 대한 어떤 힙합과 충돌되는 부분이 있을 것 같은데.
그런 게 아니라 여자.
I hate
Shut
the
the front
fact.
door.
BTS were
I hate the fact that Suga was looking, he was looking down, he was looking sad down there.
told by several people they would never make
So,
it because they came from a small agency. Big Hit Entertainment was at one point near bankruptcy and didn't have the financial power to promote and push BTS the way other companies could with their own groups. In 2014, Suga shared his story about battling depression since pre-debut days. Suga continues to discuss and bring awareness to mental health through his work. Until now, BTS has continued.
Wow, I assumed, looking at Suga's personality in the previous videos, he might be a person that might get depressed easily than others. And yeah, I'm guessing that's why he will probably need Jimin a lot. And do you see the room that he was sleeping in? And that was like, this is not even a college dorm room. It's so small. The bed is on the mattress. You can see a bunch of different products on the closet, the table, one TV there. His clothes, barely nothing in there.
Few days, Suga continues to discuss and bring awareness to mental health through his work. Until now, BTS has continuously been transparent about their darkest thoughts and feelings, not just through their music, but also their very public personas. February 2014. BTS were accused of copying the schoolboy concept for Boy in Love, which came out shortly after another group released their music video, even though the concept is a popular choice amongst young boy bands. April 2014.
Like, that was a theme used everywhere. If you look at a bunch of different Japanese shows, even old Korean movies, that theme of boys, gang, wearing those black clothes is everywhere, especially in Japanese
During a
movies.
variety show, the host confronted them about this plagiarism accusation.
수와 겹친 교복 패션 왜 하필입니까?
Is he cursing?
원망했나요?
사실 저희가 말씀드릴 수
예, 얘기 천천히
제가 저희가 이번 사랑 이야기 학교 3부작의 마지막이었어요.
예.
그래가지고 언제 한번 교복을 입겠다라고 생각을 했는데 그게 되게 미묘하게 시기가 겹쳐가지고.
Throughout their careers, they've been constantly criticized.
When you can tell if somebody's lying, and you can tell when somebody's genuine, and you can tell he wasn't lying. I don't know what you call it. It's a human instinct. You will know when somebody's lying. You can just see it through their eyes and the way they behave.
미묘하게 시기가 겹쳐가지고.
Throughout their careers, they've been constantly criticized for plagiarism, often for outfits, props, concepts, and hair colors that are ordinary not just in K-pop.
Dude, it will lap. no matter what they do, there will be a similarity between, like, if you look at all across the culture, there will be one similarity. If anything they does, there will be certain overlap. And it's art. Nothing is original. You take inspiration and then you use it in your own. You mix it with different things. That's art. Everything is like that. You know, if you watch Quentin Tarantino, he always, like, his motto, his movies are known for taking inspiration from everywhere. And there's a saying, great artists steal. Good artists copy, great artists steal. It's just that you steal certain parts from different arts, different paintings, different movies, and then you combine them and make it unique.
But the expansive world of visual arts. November 2014. Hashtag kick out J-Hope BTS trended on Twitter, calling J-Hope ugly.
Whoa. Holy crap. See that comment at the top? Whoa. Look at this and the down in the middle. Whoa. Imagine, like, him reading the comments and the tweets. Also, like, he was probably going through hard times too when BTS wasn't successful and you had to open up Twitter and you'll see these comments. Hopefully nothing was said about Suga. I think negative comments might affect Suga a lot.
And untalented. The trend became popular enough that their friend and supervisor from their reality show American Hustle Life, Tony Jones, tweeted out saying, "Every member is needed and talented." Jin stepped in by telling ARMYs to cheer up and that all of them were working hard. ARMYs got together and trended hashtag J-Hope You're Perfect to comfort him. May 2015. BTS finally won their first music show with their song I Need You,
Now, this
2
is
years after their debut,
Okay.
but
New
were
Artist
accused
Award,
of
right?
sacheki.
What does
This
that
is
mean?
when companies buy back albums to boost external sales records. But this was when their company was barely surviving financially, making the claims groundless. May 2015. V was accused of mocking another idol group after they won a music show and were accepting the trophy. People began to send him death threats. However, he wasn't
What?
mocking them at all. V was known to be a fan of this group and was singing their song out of excitement. He apologized on Twitter for the misunderstanding and provided screenshots showing that he would always listen to this song before bed.
But there's nothing to apologize for, right? He was genuinely a fan, and he was happy, and he celebrated using that song. It was a misunderstanding on the other person's part, not on V's part. Like, why is he apologizing?
2015, BTS abruptly halted their concert, The Red Bullet, in New York due to death threats towards RM. All related fan activities were also subsequently cancelled. Attendees of the show were forced to leave the venue, where there was a strong presence of security and police at the scene.
What?
Sorry, we love you.
RM also received another death threat for another upcoming show in Mexico later that month. July 2016, people began to debate over alleged misogynistic lyrics and tweets from BTS. This led to the members and the company reflecting back on their actions. BTS's agency, Big Hit Entertainment,
Knowing what RM went through to start the group and how much he cares about his members and how much effort he put into this to get him, see him get death threats, doesn't even make sense to me. Whoa, this is just the beginning. I didn't expect to be this harsh. Like, I thought every group goes through a hard time, like the underdog story, like the Rockies, but this is on another level that I didn't expect, and it's only like the beginning part, like death threats and the difficulties. What?
responded with an apology
This is way more
and a
extreme than I
promise to
thought.
do better. Consequently, the band grew from this lesson and have since released feminist overtures such as 21st Century Girl, and in 2019 responded to their 2014 single Boy in Love with Boy with Love, a collaboration with Halsey. RM has said that since the incident, he pays closer attention to the lyrics he writes, reading newspapers and books to study the social phenomena.
I think RM, he was heavily influenced by Western rap music, like Eminem, Tupac, Biggie. So when he was coming out, he was probably listening to those music. And, you know, the lyrics for that song inspired RM to write the music he writes. And those lyrics will have those certain words. You know, American old school songs, hip hop songs. It's all like that.
After he finishes writing lyrics, he consults experts of women's studies to objectively examine the lyrics. May 2016. During their epilogue concert, aunties began to use the hashtag Plagiarism Boy Scouts. Multiple fandoms teamed up to trend this hashtag in Korea. BTS saw this, and the media latched on. June 2016. During the variety show Flower Crew, Jungkook arrived at the filming location with a bag of hamburgers for his cast members, hoping to break the ice. One of the cast members made rude comments and turned Jungkook's offer away.
거짓말하고 느낌이 딱 먹다 남긴 느낌인데. 진짜 새 거예요.
BTS has since filmed another variety show with the same host, and spirits seem high. September 2016. Aunties made yet another project called Break Wings Project to try to sabotage their comeback in October. The project was caught and stopped once comments on YouTube broadcasting the project were put on blast. Wings then went on to sell 16,000 units in its first week, appearing at number 26 on the US Billboard 200 chart, setting...
I wonder what all these haters are doing now. How do you feel about the fact that you're a hater and wishing all these horrible things and even death threats towards BTS members? How do you feel now?
The then highest record for a K-pop album and making BTS the first and only K-pop act at that time to log 3 entries on the Billboard 200. Because of this, aunties took strategic pictures of non-armies and claimed that there was no line in stores that sold physical albums. October 2016. During the Busan One Asia Festival, fans were told a couple hours before the broadcast that BTS were no longer appearing because one member was absent from an injury, even though a countless number of fans were already present at the event venue and BTS was ready and willing to perform. BTS ended up performing for the fans who attended the event and waited all day, but it was at the end of the event with leftover confetti, no proper lighting, and no cameras rolling. Their performance was not broadcasted and only fan cams were taken. October 2016,
they only perform for the fans?
During BTS's Blood, Sweat and Tears promotion in South Korea, BTS wasn't given a waiting room at the broadcast
I love that name. Blood, Sweat and Tears
center. So the members made do and practiced, got dressed, and did makeup in front of the bathrooms. They would practice non-stop without resting, greeting other staffers who were going to the bathroom, and other idol groups would openly look down on them. This comment was left under a video uploaded.
I wonder what other idol groups were looking down on them during this time. And I bet they're kissing ass now when they're successful, like the biggest artists, the biggest group in the world. All those people and idols and actors were looking down on them during the times when they're going through hard times, and now they're probably gonna try to kiss ass because they're scared.
By Wei, a member from Crayon Pop. Wei responded, "Yes, that's right. All I remember is their hard work and efforts. I especially haven't forgotten RM's voice practicing Japanese." November 2016. V made a heartfelt announcement during their muster that his beloved grandmother had passed away. Auntie saw this as an opportunity to twist his narrative and intentions, sending him death threats and accusing him of using her passing as a ploy for attention.
That is horrible. That is horrible. Really. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to read this out loud. What? That is so inhumane. Oh my gosh. I'm reading all this and I don't want to read this out loud. The pictures.
Opportunity to twist his narrative and intentions.
We shouldn't blur these freaking names. They should know that there's consequences to saying comments like this. Nobody can say this in real life. You know, people like to talk big behind the freaking comments in their
Sending
keyboards.
him death threats and accusing him of using her passing as a ploy for attention. November 2016.
Also remember what kind of a background V had, just from the little piece of information that I have from the guide video. I think he comes from the poorest background, just normal farmers. And I can imagine that the grandma was also a farmer who just worked really hard and lived a really humble life.
Big Hit released a formal statement about taking legal actions regarding malicious rumors, false statements, and personal attacks against BTS. The company continues to pursue legal...
But I just can't imagine. Why would they say that? Like, imagine your grandma, right? Any family member that you have a good relationship with. If somebody passes away from your family, can you imagine yourself writing comments like this towards like anyone? Can you imagine that? Like how horrible your life should be in your own personal life to write comments like this about somebody's family member passing. Like, it is so incomprehensible to me to write this. I can't imagine writing those comments down and laughing when somebody's family member dies. Hey, if you want to watch full uncut reactions, click the link in the description. You can check out full unedited reactions for TV shows, music reactions, and album reactions, which is in the description for Patreon. As you guys know, most of the reactions that I do on this YouTube channel, it's copyrighted, so unfortunately it is demonetized. It is not monetized. So maybe if you want to support the channel, just consider supporting the channel. You can click the link in the description for Patreon, or if you just want to check out the full reactions, again, on Patreon. Thank you. That's it. Bye-bye.
Against perpetrators to this day, enforcing a strict no settlement and leniency policy. November 2016. Fans of another group were upset that BTS won Album of the Year at the Melon Music Awards, claiming it was done out of charity and that miscalculations were made. They called Melon customer care, where an employee explained that the company's internal data proved that BTS scored higher. Audio of the conversation was released.
그거 이제 그 상에 해당하는 앨범들을 해가지고 계산한 게 있는데 그러면은 저희가 보는 거랑 뭐 멜론 내부에서 보는 거랑 그러면은 데이터가 아예 다르다는 소린가요?
아니요, 똑같으시고요. 고객께서 보셨던 거는 차트랑
네.
그리고 스트리밍 그 실시간 그 앨범 자체가 나오고 나서 순간 차트에 대한 그런 데이터량 아십니까?
그건 아닌 것 같아요.
고객께서 보신 전체 데이터 수치는 아마 보시기 어려우실 거예요. 그 데이터는 로에념을 갖고 있고요. 고객께서 봤던 정리를 어떤 식으로 진행하셔가지고 어떤 식으로 보신지 모르겠는데 고객님들께서 정리해서 보신 거는 그 차트 반영에 관한 내용들이고요.
네.
그 부분이 아니라 1년 동안 고객님들께서 스트리밍 돌리시고 앨범을 산 그 이용권 말고 많은 대중들이 전체적으로 듣잖아요.
네.
그거에 대한 결과 전체 음원 합산 점수예요. 내부적 고객께서 지금 생각하신 게 혹시 내부적 이게 비리가 있는 건 아니냐라고 생각이 드실 수 있는데요.
예.
뭐 제가 말씀드릴 수 있는 부분은 비리 전혀 없으시고요. 방탄이 1년 동안 보다 스트리밍 수가 많이 받아서 상을 받았다라고 생각하시면 되십니다.
February 2017. BTS were accused of plagiarism after their performance at the Gaon Chart Music Awards. The part in question was when the no-signal bars on screen resembled another group's past stage. To make matters worse, the creative director of the group in question created a post on Instagram with the captions, our hard work. And siblings of the group liked that post. Gaon Charts eventually posted an official statement in regards to the accusation, admitting that their own production team was in charge of the graphics, not Big Hit. BTS has not attended or performed at Gaon Chart Music Awards since, only pre-taping acceptance speeches. March 2017. Death threats were made against BTS, with their target being Jimin.
Like BTS, you gotta remember those people who look down upon you when you're coming up. And then you gotta make note of people who supported you when you're coming up. And then once BTS becomes successful, and all those people hated on you, all those groups and stages and creative directors that hated on you when you're coming up, and they will try to smooch up to you when you're successful, when BTS is successful, don't give them a positive reinforcement. Don't give them a positive energy back. No. You hated on me when we're coming up. So now we're up and now we're successful. You're going to try to smooch up to me like that? No, we don't play like that. But you got to apply the opposite rule to the people who supported you when you're coming up. You supported me. You supported us, the BTS, when you were going down and when we had a hard time. And now we're successful. We're going to help you to become successful. Whether that's other group members, idol members, actors, or just the fan base. Certain fan base. Yeah.
This time. This threat happened during their world tour, and Big Hit addressed this threat, increasing security around the venues. December 2017. Fans of a different group were so outraged by the results at the 2017 Mnet Asian Music Awards that they filed a petition under the Blue House, the executive office and official residence of the South Korean head of state. They requested
a lot of fans are toxic, yeah? I think it's similar to certain anime communities or certain hip-hop communities. Majority of the people, like 95% of the people, are good people, the fan base, just like in certain idol groups, even including this group, the BTS group, the ARMYs. I would say 95% of the people are good people, and I think 5% is extremely toxic.
To be abolished because BTS won, crashing the Blue House petition website, which was meant for the South Korean citizens only, with traffic from overseas. May 2018, Jimin once again received death threats, this time during their Love Yourself tour in Fort Worth.
Jimin is the last person that should get death threats.
Afterwards, that they were investigating the threat. November 2018. On November 7, a South Korean court ordered a Japanese company to compensate them for wartime labor during Japan's colonial rule of the Korean peninsula. The next day, Japan's TV's Asahi's music station announced that they have cancelled BTS's appearance on their show, slated for November 9th, due to a recently resurfaced screenshot of a member wearing a t-shirt depicting a photo of an atomic bomb and of Koreans celebrating their independence from Japan. The band subsequently became attacked by the extreme conservatives in Japan, and the news was picked up by the Western media.
바로 저 사건은 방탄소년단이 입었던 티셔츠가 직접적인 문제가 됐다기보단 그건 빌미였고 사실은 강제징용 배상 판결에 대한 이 보이콧을 하고 싶어하던 일본의 어떤 그 멘탈리티가 그대로 표현된 거다라고 생각을 할 수 있는데 그래서 그 다섯 개.
If you read history, what Japan did to Korea was horrible. It was horrible. Like just look it up. Like I don't even want to say it out loud. Just the name of that incident, it was horrible. And there's documentaries on girls that survived that era and incident. It is inhumane. Like the pictures during that time, what Japan did to Korea, it was freaking horrible. It's comparable to what Nazis did. It's just, yeah.
그러니까 전 세계에 걸쳐서 살고 있는 특히 이제 한국 번역을 하는 한국 아미들이 주축이 돼서요. 20몇 명의 아미가 온라인으로 모여서 이 사건이 도대체 어떤 정치적 배경에서 나왔는가, 어떤 역사적 배경에서 출현한 건가, 그리고 지금 그 전 세계에서 쏟아내고 있는 기사들이 어디가 어떻게 잘못된 건가 팩트 체크를 다 하면서 이 2차 세계대전에 대한 어떤 자료들을 다 모아서 백서, 화이트 페이퍼 프로젝트를 발간합니다.
영문으로 해서 저렇게 한 거예요?
예, 영문과 한국어 동시에 이렇게 다 볼 수 있는데 분량이 166쪽 정도 돼요. 그러니까 거의
April 2019. During BTS's global press conference for Map of the Soul Persona, a reporter bluntly asked BTS about past plagiarism allegations.
사실 제가 그 윙스하고 피땀 눈물 언급했던 거는 그때 이제 뭐 문제가 됐던 내용 그 뭐 표절인가 그 프랑스 작가분께서 언급하셨던 그 부분을 언급해서 여쭤본 거였고요. 그거에 대해서 그냥 뭐 질문이 좀 불편할 수는 있겠지만 답변을 좀 듣고 싶은 부분 때문에 질문을 드렸습니다.
네, 그거에 대해서는 저희 회사에서 이제 저희 회사 법무팀에서 작가님이랑 이야기를 하고 있고요. 저희 의견, 저희 생각도 회사랑 동일하다고 생각을 하고 있습니다. 네, 그건에 대해서는 회사에서 지금 처리를 하고 있기 때문에 뭐 결과가 나오면 알겠죠. 네, 감사합니다.
Netizens later uncovered an article written by a reporter of the same name on another entertainment company's news website. April 2019. SBS Inkigayo excluded BTS's Boy With Love out of its charts for the song's first eligible week. Questions about the criteria used by the music show were raised, while SBS continued to claim the calculation period did not fit with BTS's album release time. To this, Dispatch compared BTS to another group who also released a song on the same day. That group entered the rankings and took its first win for their song that week, while BTS were left out of the rankings entirely. December 2019. JTBC reported that BTS went against their own agency and planned to file a lawsuit against Big Hit Entertainment. Big Hit pulled out receipts and released a lengthy statement on behalf of Big Hit Entertainment, BTS, and the members' families. They called the media company's journalism practices into question, stating, "We have not only the video that JTBC used for the first report, but also the CCTV video that recorded the footage of the journalist breaking into our company." December 2019. MBC is accused of abusing their power to purposely prevent other groups under Big Hit Entertainment from appearing at their year-end show, after BTS chose to appear on the US's NBC New Year's Rockin' Eve countdown in New York City instead of NBC's year-end program. According to Osen, multiple industry sources shared, ever since October, when BTS's side told NBC that BTS would not be appearing on NBC's year-end music festival, it has been difficult for singers associated with Big Hit Entertainment to appear on NBC. It is already an openly known fact in the industry. January 2020. For 29 years, the Seoul Music Awards only had one grand prize, also known as a Daesang. But in 2020, they created a second Daesang for digital music. BTS won the Daesang for physical music only, even though their stats proved that they should have also gotten the Daesang for digital music as well. BTS did not appear in person to accept the award and has only sent in video acceptance speeches since. July 2020, Naver, the Google of South Korea, reportedly invested over $80 million into another entertainment company after losing out on profits from BTS, who chose to hold an online concert through Weverse, a mobile app and web platform developed by Big Hit Entertainment. BTS earned at least $21 million in ticket revenue, according to an analyst at securities firm. He stated, "Naver lost BTS, the most popular IP of K-pop, and must have felt the need to invest in entertainment to form a stable relationship." Since 2017, fans have noticed that South Korean platforms such as Naver and media journalists were ignoring and downplaying BTS's achievements. Popular websites hardly posted anything about them, nor did they feature BTS on their
I know one thing you have to understand about how certain companies and those news medias that doesn't associate with Big Hit Media anymore because of BTS didn't appear in their end of the year awards. All these companies are run by people. When you enter a certain group, when you look at people who hold positions, presidents, politicians, CEOs of big companies, billionaires, they're humans, just like us. They're nothing special. They also have certain grudges and human feelings. So they will do these pitiful things to suppress down a certain group because they just don't like them. It is entirely possible for them to do that. These types of things happen, and it is real. I don't think this is a conspiracy theory. This is fully applicable and real.
Music critic Kim Young-dae and popular political commentator Kim Oh-jun recently discussed this issue.
그 뉴스의 크기에 비해서 국내 기사는 상대적으로 적다는 인상을 항상 받았거든. BTS는 그 버금갈 정도의 현상을 지속적으로 만들었는데 거기에 비하자면 뉴스량이 좀 적다. 호들갑 떨기 그렇게 좋아하는 이 미디어들이 왜 이럴까? 궁금증이 평소에 있었거든. 연결되는 이야기예요. 기사들이 일단
BTS의 성공은 이제 어느 정도 보도가 돼요. 그러면 우리가 흔히 알고 있는 소위 대형 기획사의 아이돌이 그것보다 사실은 못 미치는 어떤 활약을 보였을 때 미디어에 보도되는 양이나 그 커버되는 범위를 보시면 확연히 차이가 납니다. 굉장히 좀 재밌는 부분이고, 이번 그래미 같은 경우 어떻게 들어가냐면 주요 부문에서 등극에 실패했다라고 한다든지 여러 가지 이유 중에 이거 하나가 중요하다고 생각해요. 뭐냐면 BTS라는 이 현상, BTS의 미국에서의 성공, BTS의 세계적인 열풍 자체가 제도권의 시스템을 거치지 않았다는 거예요. 그래서 이 제도권을 점하고 있는 그 언론일 수도 있고 뭐 프로모터일 수도 있고 음반 회사일 수도 있죠. 이 사람들이 보기에 썩 납득이 가지 않고 유쾌하지도 않아요.
자기 힘이 입증이 안 되는 거지. 그렇게 되면.
그렇습니다.
점하고 있는 위치에서 자기 영향력이라는 게 있는데 이걸 다 거치지 않고 성공해 버렸으니까 자기 존재 이유가 없어지는 거 아니에요. 그런 맥락에서는
December 2020. For the last few years, BTS has been the face of political discourse on the revisions of South Korea's mandatory military service, even though BTS and their company have not spoken about wanting postponement or exemptions, and have insisted that they will serve when called upon. In August 2000,
this explains how them enlisting in the military now is a big deal, especially in Korea.
All major South Korean entertainment companies held a meeting to discuss petitioning the government to revise the law to allow K-pop performers to be exempt from service, in addition to the top artists, musicians, and athletes that already qualify. Big Hit Entertainment was not among the agencies, but BTS was used as the leading example for this revision. On December 22, 2020, the Ministry of National Defense announced that a revision has been made, effective June 23, 2021, where popular culture artists can postpone their enlistment until age 30, with the requirements that the individuals must have been recommended as recipients of the Order of Cultural Merit, one of the highest national honors given to artists in South Korea. In April 2021, 26 agencies, led by the Korean Music Content Association, filed a written objection against the revision, stating that the
From Korea's perspective, doesn't it make sense to not enlist people who are going to have a bigger impact if they're not serving? I know they're going to military now, but I'm a fan of UFC, and there's a fighter that is called Korean Zombie. And during his hiatus, during his when he went to the military, he lost all of his fighting abilities, and he came back and he lost. And I felt so bad for him because he was one of the Asian fighters that I rooted for. I liked the way he fought. He always fought forward, he didn't step back. I liked the man he was. During his prime time, Korea made him go to military and service the military. And for a fighter, your time for your career is so short. It will end really quickly because your physical ability to fight at your peak will decrease rapidly after the age of 25. And Korean Zombie, he was in his prime when he went to the military. And he came back and he lost, and he lost again recently. And it was just so sad to see all that. It is a controversial topic, and I can see from the other side too that if they're exempt, where is the line? Right? Where is the line of what kind of people are exempt and what kind of people are not exempt? So drawing that line becomes really, really a narrow and blurry line. So it's a tough topic.
Law is both unrealistic and unfair. March 2021. BTS was nominated for the Best Duo Group Performance at the Grammys, which was announced nominated for the Best Duo Group Performance at the Grammys,
Look at Jungkook's reaction.
which was announced during the online pre-show instead of the primetime ceremony, as it usually was in previous years. Unfortunately, they didn't take home the award, but what made fans even more upset was that the Grammys used BTS as ratings bait, teasing that BTS's performance would be quote-unquote up next, but were actually placed as the second to last performance during the 3.5-hour broadcast, and only given the time to perform an abridged performance of their song.
They're clearly
A
looking
former
down
managing
on
editor
not
for the
knowing
Grammy
impact
Awards
they have.
website spoke out the next day about the Recording Academy and how it pushed back on featuring BTS. But BTS got the last laugh. A live stream of the band celebrating after the event has so far garnered more than 13 million views, compared to the 8.8 million viewers who tuned into the Grammys.
Look at the views, the comparison. Dude, 8.8 and 300 million. Those Grammys, they clearly didn't know what kind of people they're dealing with. They're clearly looking down upon BTS.
March 2021. Topps released the Garbage Pail Kids Shammy Awards illustration and cards. Unlike the other artists who were featured, BTS was depicted as being brutalized and beaten up by a Grammy trophy inside a whack-a-mole. This isn't the first time BTS has been shunned, put down, or bullied. In February 2021, a German radio station host made racist remarks about BTS, comparing them to COVID-19, and voiced his hopes that there will be a vaccine against BTS soon. He openly cursed at them for covering a Coldplay song and said that BTS deserves a 20-year vacation in North Korea. Halsey, Max, Lauv, Steve Aoki, and more artists
Who was that
slammed
person, dude? Who was that person?
the Coldplay song and said that soon. He a 20-year vacation in North Korea. Halsey, Max, Lauv, Steve Aoki, and more artists slammed the radio station's racism and xenophobia.
What was the radio
host
station
and
that did
station maintains that it was just a joke. and that folks are too
No,
sensitive.
it wasn't a joke. No, it
During
wasn't.
Zach Sang's show, a member named Liam from a boy band called Forever in Your Mind made these comments.
I agree that they're a boy band, but at the same time, it's like the rate. I feel like it's like a different, like they belong in a different genre on their own, because I feel like there still needs to be like a European or an American boy band to be at the top, and I think BTS can just live in their own. They're BTS. They don't, you know what I mean?
Nah, but they're like.
Like I don't
their
think
fan
that they're
base
gonna.
is so crazy. It's
Dude, and it's global.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Like, they're really good.
I like them. They're good dancers.
I can't get behind it. I don't understand what they're saying.
I got it.
and
I got
just.
I don't even know what to call them, boys or girls, because I don't know what they are. Look at these people. Look at this one. I don't know which one he is. Look at those highlights. Those chunky Tony and Guy mall salon highlights. And the contact lenses. You are an Asian man. You don't need to look like a girl named Ashley.
When I first heard something Korean had exploded in America, I got worried.
I don't know. I think they look very nice. Oh, that is not what you were saying during the break.
How did this become a thing in Western culture where all these grown men and little girls are off to little K-pop boys?
喐校，喐英係校，喐英係幾有嘢好嘅，喐英係幾有嘢，喐英係好嘢喎。有咩管呢？
Wow. You know what's weird about this, especially in my case? Like, I'm at fault for this. I believe in these stereotypes. It's just few, like literally a few weeks ago, before I watched all this, before I was informed all this, like those stereotypes, I'm at fault too. I believed all that. And then after watching all this, it shows how ignorant and stupid those beliefs was. And also understanding about each member and understanding that they are humans and they are people and they have feelings.
Senior editor from The Economist said, "Please no." After BTS was announced as speakers at the 75th UN General Assembly, she quickly tried to backtrack, claiming it was a joke. This led to Stephen Pollard, a British journalist, to tweet this, and Anne Hegarty, a television personality, responding with, "All this about a little Korean boy band that's fundamentally not important?" So when BTS...
You're not important. Who is that girl? Like, who is that lady? I hope all these people had certain repercussions in their own career. It's just... Also, this lady who was talking about Jimin like that, where is that freaking lady? Their previous editor, whoever it was. What's her name?
When he is. Look at those highlights. Those chunky Tony and Guy mall salon highlights. And the contact lenses.
You know what you are?
You are an Asian man.
You know what you are? Hey, if you want to watch full uncut reactions, click the link in the description. You can check out full unedited reactions for TV shows, music reactions, and album reactions, which is in the description for Patreon. As you guys know, most of the reactions that I do on this YouTube channel, it's copyrighted, so unfortunately it is demonetized. It is not monetized. So maybe if you want to support the channel, just consider supporting the channel. You can click the link in the description for Patreon, or if you just want to check out the full reactions, again, on Patreon. Thank you. That's it. Bye-bye. You're jealous. The fact that he's more good looking than you. What's her lady's name? Former deputy editor, Star Magazine. It makes sense why there's former in there. Who would want somebody like her working on it?
You don't need to look like a girl named Ashley.
Worker like that. I don't
When I
need a
first
worker
heard
like
something
that.
Korean had exploded in America, I got worried.
A senior editor from The Economist said, "Please no." After BTS was announced as speakers at the 75th UN General Assembly, she quickly tried to backtrack, claiming it was a joke. This led to Stephen Pollard, a British journalist, to tweet this.
See, I'm pity like that. I want to look at her. I want to look her up. She's a no name, nothing. probably deleted all of your other comments. Yeah. No need to worry about this. No need to worry about people like this.
And Anne Hegarty, a television personality, responding with all this about a little Korean boy band that's fundamentally not important. So when BTS was named Entertainer of the Year by Time magazine soon after, RM said, "We're not sure if we've actually earned respect, but one thing is for sure is that people feel like, okay, this is not just some kind of syndrome or phenomenon. These little boys from Korea are doing this." BTS have always been outspoken about the injustice of racial discrimination. In the summer of 2020, they used their platform and proudly announced their support for Black Lives Matter and donated $1 million to the organization. With the recent rise and visibility of atrocities against Asians, BTS released a statement on their Twitter standing in solidarity once again. These are just a few of the countless examples of mistreatment, racism, and xenophobia that BTS has been encountering around.
And during this time, you can imagine the impact that their music had on the people who were listening to music, to stop the Asian hate. I would say their music had a stronger impact to stop the Asian hate than a lot of people in power, whatever they did. I don't know.
Throughout their storied career, it will more than likely be a continued uphill battle. As artists of color who are constantly breaking records and barriers, amassing fans and growing in popularity around the globe, hostility and jealousy will come easily from those not of popularity around the globe.
Just look at that. Those dots are people. Holy crap. Can you imagine just like standing here looking up?
Hostility and jealousy will come easily from those not afforded the luxury of such a strong and dedicated fan base. As fans who are cognizant of their journey and understand that their popularity comes from their sincerity and talent,
not them crying, it makes
armies
it even
have
more
a tendency to be protective,
knowing,
and sometimes overly so. If only because of the awareness of what BTS and ARMY are up against when fighting for fair representation.
This made me more angry than it is emotional. Also, her videos are really well made. She put in effort in translating all those.
20.
I think she's Korean, yeah. So her videos are really well made. I thought I might get emotional, but it made me pissed off more than anything. Yeah. But again, to say that I'm also at fault here, by the way. I believed in all those stereotypes. I was part of that. And what it is you hear these stereotypes, right? And then you don't do any research of your own. You just believe what you hear from your peer groups and your community you're involved in and on the news. So when you hear the stereotypes about K-pop, negative stereotypes, I didn't do my own research. I just blindly believed that. I didn't even think about it. It was just an afterthought. And then now looking at all this, doing my actual own research, I'm realizing I was so ignorant and stupid. I think that's what it was.